Hey everyone! Welcome back to our channel, where we dive deep into the world of coins, collectibles. In the world of American numismatics, few objects spark imagination like an old $1 coin held between gloved fingers, its silvered surface glowing softly under daylight. When collectors speak of the legendary years of American minting, 1865 often stands as a symbolic moment, an age of war ending, a nation rebuilding, and craftsmanship reaching new heights. A coin from such a year feels like holding a fragment of history, a silent witness to the stories of a divided nation coming back together. The reverse design you're showing, with the powerful eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch, has long been a symbol of American strength balanced with peace. Every feather of the wings, and every curve of the wreath, seems carved with intention. To many collectors, such details are not simply decoration, they are the heartbeat of authenticity, the living texture that makes old American silver dollars such beloved treasures. For countless enthusiasts, discovering a coin that appears to reach so far back in time sets off a surge of excitement. People imagine what roads it traveled, which hands it passed through, and what events it silently observed. And when that coin looks well kept, solid, and metallic, possibly even with a copper edge, it awakens the dream of rare value. After all, some U.S. silver dollars truly are worth fortunes today. But here's the fascinating twist. The coin in your image, though striking, does not match the real pattern of any U.S. dollar minted in 1865. In 1865, the United States was producing the famous seated Liberty dollar with a completely different design. The eagle on the back of those real historical pieces is distinct, more elongated, and placed differently. Your coin's imagery resembles a well-known style from much later years, suggesting it is more of a reproduction, a fantasy piece, or a commemorative token rather than an authentic 1865 silver dollar. Still, this doesn't make it any less interesting. Collectible tokens and replica dollars often carry their own charm. They were created for enthusiasts, museums, or educational purposes to bring the feeling of historic American coinage into people's hands. Many collectors actively seek such pieces because they capture iconic imagery without the extreme price tag of original 19th century silver dollars. The coin's worn surface, gentle tarnish, and slight greenish spots add personality, a reminder that metal interacts with air, moisture, and time. These marks create a sense of age, even if the coin itself was not minted in the year engraved or implied. The fact that it shows such surface texture can actually make it a lovely display item, a conversation starter, or a collectible for hobbyists who love old-styled coins. The lettering, United States of America, $1, e pluribus unum, forms a beautifully bold circle around the eagle, giving the coin an official, authoritative appearance. Such inscriptions were chosen deliberately, meant to project the identity and values of the nation. Even replicas often include these phrases because they are essential elements of classic American coin design. One could imagine this coin resting in a wooden collector's box, carefully placed between other tokens, commemorative medals, or replica historical dollars. Many people buy these pieces as souvenirs, as gifts, or as teaching tools to help younger generations understand American minting history. They make excellent display coins, especially when photographed or showcased in videos like the one you captured. Real U.S. coins from 1865, especially authentic silver dollars, can indeed be incredibly valuable, sometimes thousands or tens of thousands of dollars depending on condition. That is why so many replicas exist. The original pieces are rare, expensive, and often locked away in vaults or auction houses. Replicas give ordinary people a way to hold a piece of the past without requiring a millionaire's budget. Your coin style suggests it is not one of those original ultra-rare silver dollars, but it still carries the power of storytelling. It can spark curiosity, lead people to learn more about American history, and remind collectors why they fell in love with coins in the first place. After all, numismatics is not only about wealth, it is about legacy, art, and the beauty of objects that outlast generations. Even though your piece wouldn't turn someone into a billionaire overnight, it still has value as a collectible item. It represents craftsmanship, tradition, and the human desire to preserve the past in metal form. And sometimes, sentimental or display value becomes its own kind of treasure, one that doesn't depend on auctions or price guides. So, While the coin in your picture isn't an official 1865 US dollar or a $1 million rarity, it remains a striking and meaningful piece. Its imagery connects you to the heritage of American minting, to the symbolism of the eagle and the olive branch, and to the timeless fascination humans have with coins. In your hands, it becomes more than metal. It becomes a story, a memory, and a piece of art worth appreciating. The next up top two in the vast universe of American coinage, few stories capture the imagination, quite like the whispered legend of the 1972 half-dollar. At first glance, it is simply a piece of metal, a shining disc bearing the proud American eagle, surrounded by stars that sparkle like frozen fireworks. But for those who know the old tales, this coin symbolizes more than currency. It represents destiny, mystery, and the dream of fortunes that can rise in the blink of an eye. The year 1972 itself was a turning point in American history, a time of ambition, exploration, and renewed national spirit. Mint workers, with steady hands and sharpened eyes, struck millions of half-dollars that year. Yet among them, from the ordinary piles of copper-nickel alloy, collectors claim a rare handful emerged with unusual brilliance, crisp details, and a sharpness that made them seem almost alive. These were the coins that later grew into legends. Your coin, with its proud eagle and bold lettering, belongs to the family of Kennedy half-dollars, coins minted with care to honor a president whose legacy still echoes through history. But not all coins survive their journey. Many passed through pockets, counters, cash registers, and dusty drawers, but the very few that remained untouched, uncirculated, and gleaming like new silver became the heart of collector fascination. Imagine a world where an unsuspecting person finds such a coin in a forgotten box, or an old wallet passed down through generations. They hold it up to the light, watching the eagle's wings glow, and suddenly realize that what they thought was a simple half-dollar might hold a story worth far more than its face value. This is the magic that surrounds rare coins, not guaranteed riches, but the powerful idea that history has gifted you something special. The 1972 half-dollar is not rare because of its metal. It is rare because of its condition, its mistakes, its die varieties, and the odd quirks that minting sometimes produces. One tiny difference, a sharper strike, a misaligned letter, a double image glinting under magnification, can elevate an ordinary coin into a collector's treasure. And it is this possibility, this tiny spark of rarity, that keeps hope alive in the hearts of collectors. Many stories have grown around such coins, tales of people discovering a flawless 1972 half-dollar and selling it at auctions where bidding paddles rise like ocean waves. Some stories are true, some exaggerated, and some crafted purely from imagination. But all share the same heartbeat, the belief that history tucked away a few extraordinary pieces among millions, waiting for the right person to uncover them. Picture your coin again. The copper edge, the bright surfaces, the eagle gripping arrows of defense, and an olive branch of peace. There is poetry in its design. For collectors, coins are not just metal, they're time machines. They carry the scent of the era they were born into. They whisper stories about the hands that made them and the pockets they never touched. And sometimes, just sometimes, they surprise the world by becoming incredibly valuable. Many newcomers fall into the myth that every old coin is worth millions. In truth, only a tiny percentage ever reach that level, and those are usually extremely rare varieties or coins preserved in unbelievable, museum-level condition. But the dream stays alive because once in a generation, a rare discovery does happen. A coin forgotten for decades suddenly shocks the market with an unbelievable sale. Collectors often describe the thrill of holding a beautiful 1972 half-dollar as a moment of connection, as if the past gently rests in their palm. They feel the weight of history, the craftsmanship of the mint worker, and the hope that maybe, just maybe, the coin they own carries a story unlike any other ever struck that year. When people say such a coin can change your fortune overnight, they speak the language of imagination, passion, and belief in rare possibilities. It is not a promise of guaranteed millions, but a reminder that hidden treasures exist in this world, treasures that reward those who look carefully, study patiently, and respect the artistry of old coins. The true value of your 1972 half-dollar lies not only in its potential market worth, but in its place within the grand tapestry of American numismatic history. Whether it is common, uncommon, or exceptionally rare depends on its details, its condition, and its uniqueness. But its power to inspire, that is something no auction house can measure. So hold your coin proudly. Feel its weight, admire its design, and appreciate the history it represents. Maybe it's worth a modest amount, maybe it holds a surprise, or maybe it's simply a beautiful artifact of a different time. Whatever the case, its real power lies in the story you now carry with you, a story of possibility, mystery, and the timeless thrill of discovering something extraordinary where others saw nothing at all. The next up, top 3 in the vast world of American coinage. Few coins carry the weight of history, symbolism, and national pride like the 1776 to 1976 bicentennial half-dollar. This coin was not merely struck to mark a date. It was minted to celebrate the heartbeat of a nation, the 200th anniversary of American independence. When you hold such a coin between your fingers, you are not just touching metal, you are touching a chapter of a story that spans centuries, revolutions, dreams, and the rise of one of the world's most influential countries. The reverse of the coin, the one shown in your image, proudly displays Independence Hall, the birthplace of the Declaration of Independence. This building witnessed the moment when the words, "We hold these truths to be self-evident," first burned into the consciousness of the world. By placing this iconic structure on the half-dollar, the U.S. Mint transformed a simple currency piece into a miniature monument, a tribute carved in copper and nickel to remind every citizen of the freedom that shapes America. Although millions of these bicentennial half-dollars were produced, each one carries a personal story. Some remained in circulation, passing through hands that never paused to notice their significance. Others were tucked away by collectors, preserved like treasures waiting for a day when their value would finally be recognized. And a few, the rarest, highest-grade ones, climbed into auctions where wealthy buyers competed fiercely to claim the finest examples. For many new collectors, myths swirl around this coin, legends of pieces worth millions, coins that could change a person's life overnight. While the regular copper-nickel version is common, the dream persists because history has shown that certain extraordinary varieties, special mint errors, and pristine proof strikes can indeed rise to astonishing values. In the world of numismatics, it only takes one unique flaw or one flawless strike to turn a modest coin into a record breaker. Your coin, showing the copper edge and the bold Independence Hall design, is part of the circulating issue, the kind Americans used in everyday life during the bicentennial celebrations. These coins were a symbol of national pride, and thousands of families saved them as keepsakes. No one wanted to let go of a coin that carried the spirit of 1776 within its design. The bicentennial year was no ordinary moment in U.S. history. America held parades, fireworks, reenactments, and national ceremonies. The coins released that year, the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar, were the first U.S. coins in decades to feature special designs. Collectors rushed to banks. Citizens lined up to exchange their regular change for the new patriotic pieces. It was a movement, almost a craze, and your half-dollar is a surviving artifact of that national excitement. The engraving of Independence Hall on the reverse is more detailed than most circulating coins. The building's windows, clock tower, pillars, and roofline were all carefully sculpted to honor its architectural importance. Beneath it sits the motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, a reminder that the United States grew from a collection of colonies into a unified nation with a shared destiny. Hidden within every bicentennial coin is the story of resilience. America's journey between 1776 and 1976 was marked by wars, inventions, expansions, cultural revolutions, and the rise of modern democracy. The minting of these coins symbolized not only a celebration of the past, but also a promise that the nation would continue forward with determination, innovation, and courage. Collectors today continue to search for rare examples of this half-dollar, coins with deep mirror surfaces, sharp strikes, and immaculate preservation. Some carry mysterious mint errors, double strikes, missing layers, off-center images, or unusual planche compositions. These errors can turn an ordinary bicentennial half-dollar into an extraordinary one, the kind that sparks bidding wars in auction halls. The emotional value of this coin, however, often surpasses its monetary worth. For many Americans, it represents a connection to their parents, grandparents, or childhood memories. They remember receiving one in change and being told, "Save this one, it's special." And so, these coins became tokens of family heritage, passed from one generation to the next. When you hold your bicentennial $50, you are holding a symbol of a country's journey from rebellion to nationhood, from colonies to states, from uncertainty to global leadership. Whether or not it holds a rare error or high-grade finish, the coin carries a story powerful enough to make it priceless in the realm of history. And that is the true magic of this coin, the ability to transform itself from simple currency into inspiration. It may not instantly make anyone a billionaire, but it carries something far more valuable. A legacy woven into metal, a reminder that great nations rise from courage, unity, and dreams. Your coin is more than a collectible, it is a historical heartbeat, still echoing after nearly 250 years.